I was proud of our guys. I think we fought pretty hard and played extremely tough team, to the bitter end.
From Kansas City's Kauffman Stadium, it's Houston Astros baseball. Today, the Astros and Royals meet for the final time of the regular season. Dallas Keuchel shoots for his 13th win as he opposes Yordano Ventura. Hi, everybody. Alan Ashby and Jeff Blum with you. We've had some good games here in Kansas City, and a lot of the playoff atmosphere, I would say last night, brings a lot to any one of the guys playing for the Astros right now.
No, I think it's great. What an experience for them to feel this in July, because they're going to be feeling it in August and September. But the fans showed up last night. Tight ball game. Just lost on a drop shot last night, so it was a tough loss, but I think these guys are going to rebound.
So, again, really good games the last two nights. And the pitching for the Astros with Scott Kazmir coming in and then Scott Feldman going, really good.
Yeah, the rotation's been good for the Astros all year long, but then they had a guy like Scott Kazmir, which it makes them even stronger. And you saw it that first outing here in Kansas City, going 7 strong, shutting out the Kansas City Royals lineup. These guys can swing the bats. These guys are no joke. Going out there, Scott Feldman showed up, 92-mile-an-hour fastball, had a good cutter, didn't have to throw that breaking ball all that often, but got a lot of ground balls that got him out of some tough situations.
Generally, when you have good pitching, good defense comes along, and that has been the case.
Yeah, and I'm sure Scott Kazmir is going to be a huge benefactor of this, letting those guys put the ball in play. You've got a great player in center field, almost 3 center fielders playing out there in the outfield for the Houston Astros. Colby Rasmus has been Johnny on the spot, making some tough plays in key situations. But this play for me from Carlos Correa was the biggest play of the night last night, getting them out of that 9th inning with the winning run on third base.
And now our pitching performance powered by Kubota. We talk about Dallas Keuchel, who goes to the mound today. Last time out, 13 strikeouts in 7 shutout innings. He was flat dominant.
He is dominant. He is the true ace of this Houston Astros lineup. Him and Kazmir now 1 and 2 in that ERA lead in the American League, doing a great job. He's tied for first in wins. 13 Ks that last time out against Texas were his career high. So the numbers keep getting better and better for Dallas Keuchel. And what better guy to have on the mound after a tough loss last night here in Kansas City to finish off this series against the Royals.
Coming up, it's a playoff-charged atmosphere in Kansas City, and both the Astros and Royals are performing at postseason levels. Can Dallas Keuchel silence the Kauffman crowd, or will the Royals send their fans home celebrating once again? We'll find out in just minutes. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Coming up, it's a special day in Houston as Craig Biggio steps into the Baseball Hall of Fame. And a time to dream of the possibilities for the career of Carlos Correa. Can Carlos top last night's Hall of Fame worthy play? We'll find out in just minutes.
Feels to play in the playoffs against a great team like the Royals. You know, there was a lot of energy from the fans, and you know, obviously there was a great game going on. So we had a lot of fun playing it. We were just enjoying that game. Unfortunately, we didn't get the win, so we got to go back tomorrow and try to win the series.
Spoken like a 20-year-old rookie for the Houston Astros. That was Carlos Correa with our Geico quote of the game, talking to reporters about last night's loss. It was a tough one for this team, but there were a lot of good things that we saw from the Houston Astros. A lot of young players on this roster, along with some veterans, but the younger ones getting a chance to play in an environment that was hostile here at Kauffman Stadium last night, and they're learning how to win. They're learning how to win in those big moments. A.J. Hinch saying, yes, that was tough, but no moral victories for us. However, I do like getting the experience that we're getting here in this series against the Kansas City Royals. And Carlos Correa making a great play of the game, really, in this one, or in last night's game in the ninth, to take that game into extra innings. Pat Neshek was responsible for the runner on third when he made that great play to end the ninth. And Pat Neshek saying he's the greatest shortstop I've ever played with. Neshek with 9 years of MLB experience. Scott Feldman also agreeing, saying this guy just continues to impress us. us of how calm he is. Well, today they go for this series win, guys, and something that the Astros have said all year long is they want to win series. That's how you get to the playoffs, and we've been talking a lot about the playoffs, a lot about playoff atmosphere. Some very exciting times as they head into this third and final game of the Kansas City Royals.
Thanks, Julia. And yes, chance to win 5 out of 6 against the Royals this year for the Astros. They had a 7-game win streak snapped against Kansas City with last night's loss. But Blummer, for me, what guys learn with games like last night is, I don't know, not so much about what to do in this or that circumstance, but how to play without letting your nerves get the best of you.
No, I think that's exactly right. It's not what to do, it's how you handle the situation. We saw a young man at 20 years old playing shortstop. Felt the easier play was going all the way across the diamond on a ground ball from Alex Rios to get out of that first and third situation, 2 outs with that winning run on third. And those are mature decisions. He's thinking about the play before it happens. That's what that tells me. And that tells me that he's got the right demeanor, the right mentality, and obviously the tools to go out there and complete these plays during tough situations. And that tells you a lot about the talent and mentality of the team that A.J. Hinch is putting on these guys. Go out there. You've got a 3-game set. If you're looking at every series at a 3-game set, that really minimizes looking that much further forward. If you go out and continue to win series, you're going to end up at the top of the heap in the AL West at the end of the season.
And at times all you can do is think about today's game, and I think that's probably with what you're saying exactly what the guys are doing. One game today, trying to beat the Kansas City Royals. Today's Astros starting lineup is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. For A.J. Hinch, it's Jose Altuve in the top spot. Preston Tucker bats second. He's in left field, and the shortstop Carlos Correa follows. In the middle of the order, Luis Valbuena, the third baseman, the DH Evan Gattis, and in right field Colby Rasmus. In the bottom 3, Marwin Gonzalez. He gets the start at first base. Behind the plate, Jason Castro, and in center once again in this big ballpark, it's Jake Marisnick.
For the Kansas City Royals, it's going to be Yordano Ventura. Had a rough outing last time he pitched on the 20th. Went up against Pittsburgh, only went 4 innings, giving up 10 hits, 6 earned runs, and he was actually optioned to AAA following that start last Monday. Came back when Jason Vargas went on to the DL, so he's back here, has another opportunity. Has a fastball around 96 miles an hour, cuts it every once in a while, curveball changeup mix. But I love how people are saying, well, he's getting hit because he's losing velocity on his fastball. He was throwing 97 last year. He's only lost a mile an hour.
Now the youngster brings it. That first fastball is fouled off at 96. That's not a bad start to an afternoon.
Yeah, that tells me that the fastball is either leaving up out over the plate or he's lacking some movement to miss those barrels.
Third baseman plays drawn in. That's Cuthbert as the fastball runs inside. Jose Altuve, 20 doubles on the year now, 9 dingers, career high.
Good grief. Ooh,
man.
That's not where you want to see 97.
Yeah, that's kind of head hunting area right there. 2 very good games to start this series.
Ooh.
Hit high in the air, left field, routine for Orlando. And out number 1.
Defense for the Kansas City Royals. Paulo Orlando, you just saw him out there in left field. Lorenzo Cain back in center field. Alex Rios in right. Chesler Cuthbert is third base. Alcides Escobar and Omar Infante up the middle. Kendrys Morales out at first base. Drew Butero will be working with Yordano Ventura. We heard earlier Ned Yost was going to give Moustakas and Hosmer the day off. Awfully nice of him to give that day off against Dallas Keuchel.
And on a day game like today. Yeah, we used to always hear terms like, guy must have Keuchelitis.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around the league now.
It's a strike as Tucker is deemed to have gone through. Preston Tucker hitting .267, 9 home runs now. Really having a fine start to his first year in the big leagues. Tucker was 1 for 4 in last night's game, was 3 for 5 in the opener, had a single, double, and home run in that one. And now 1-2. In that last rough start you mentioned for Ventura, despite all the negative numbers, he still struck out 7 in 4 innings. So that stuff is exceptional. The slider just misses.
Take a look at that strike zone. It's going to be brought to you by MD Anderson. See where that location is. Good take.
Tucker stays alive at 2-2. It is going to take a hardy bunch to brave through the heat here in Kansas City today. A little bit of rain forecast later in the afternoon.
What?
Can you believe it?
Why do you keep doing that?
Later in the afternoon. And down on strikes, Preston Tucker. So there's number 1 for Ventura. 2 down for Carlos Correa.
Looked like a breaking ball that backed up a little bit on him. See it jump out of his hand. Didn't really break down where Preston Tucker was anticipating it. Cuts under it.
Carlos Correa hitting .288, had a 9-game hitting streak snapped in last night's game, but he will be remembered for that defensive play in the 9th inning. And he's probably already made tougher defensive plays, but that was something going to his right. Ball and a strike on Carlos.
Yeah, for me, just considering the situation, 1st and 3rd, 2 outs, winning run at 3rd base in that bottom of the 9th.
Fastball runs in at 95. It's 1-2. And again inside, and it does hit Carlos Correa. Home plate umpire takes the call. That is Chris Guccione today. So Correa has been hit by a pitch. The other umpires, Mark Carlson at first base. He's the crew chief. At second, Ryan Blakeney. And at third, Trip Gibson.
Get a look at that on the Mattress Firm Supermo. See that 2-seam rotation coming inside. Just catches that forearm. Thankfully, it was just a glancing blow. Remember, George Springer got hit by Herrera back in that homestand against Kansas City, broke his hand. Pitch up and in to Jose Altuve. Now Carlos Correa getting hit. These are guys you do not want to have injured for a stretch drive.
Ground ball hit up the middle, backhanded by Infante. They'll get the out at second. So that'll do it. Very nice play by Omar Infante to end the first. Of the first inning, and We've got Astros fans, as we do everywhere. That lineup for the Royals. Alcides Escobar leads it off. He's the shortstop, followed by center fielder Lorenzo Cain and the first baseman Kendrys Morales. In the middle, Salvador Perez, Alex Rios, and Omar Infante. In the bottom three, Cheslor Cuthbert, followed by Paulo Orlando and Drew Butera.
For your Houston Astros, all-star game starting pitcher Dallas Keuchel, making his 21st start. He's got 144 1/3 innings pitched already this season, well on his way to getting back-to-back seasons of 200+ innings pitched. Just fantastic numbers, looking to continue what he's done against the Royals here today.
Last 5 starts for Dallas, 4-1 with a 1.46 ERA. And that's going right through pitching in the All-Star game as well. Not only pitching, but being the starting pitcher.
And that last start at home against Kansas City went 8 innings of shutout baseball, 7 punch-outs.
And of course, in playing in the All-Star game, it was Ned Yost, skipper of the Royals, that was heading the squad. And so Ned Yost knows all about Dallas Keuchel. Good bunt third base side. Even the Gold Glove can't make the play. It's a leadoff bunt single for Escobar.
Just tip your cap on that one. Can't lay it down much better than that.
Almost as if Escobar said, okay, if you're going to create ground ball after ground ball, I'll hit one, but a little short of where you can play it. So Escobar aboard, nobody out for Lorenzo Cain.
Co-players of the week matchup right here.
A couple of all-stars from the American League. Ground ball left side past the diving Valbuena. Back-to-back hits. And the Royals start hot here against Dallas Keuchel.
Check out that defense here at Kauffman Stadium. Preston Tucker, Jake Marisnick, and Colby Rasmus around the outfield again. On the left side, Luis Valbuena getting back out there at third base. Carlos Correa, of course, at short. Now Altuve at second base. Big move. Marwin Gonzalez making that start at first base, getting that hot bat in there. Jason Castro back behind home plate, working with Dallas Keuchel.
Kendrys Morales, the switch hitter at the plate. Good man to double up if you can get that ground ball. And a line shot to center field. 3 consecutive hits being held at third. Escobar. And so the bases are loaded before Dallas Keuchel can almost get loose on the hill.
And the Kansas City Royals, I think their game plan is attack early. Don't let Dallas Keuchel get to that changeup, slider. But if they are looking for pitches in the zone, and they are getting some good pitches to hit, and they're barreling it up. Trying to set the tone early.
3 hits already. You keep in mind that last start against the Rangers, 7 innings of 2-hit baseball with 13 strikeouts. The Astros will play for the double play in the infield as Salvador Perez is at the plate. He's the DH today. Strike at 88 miles an hour.
I think that was that little cutter.
Ground ball right side. They'll come to the plate and get the lead out. And that's all they'll get, but a heads-up play by Marwin Gonzalez from first base. Did he have a shot at the double play at second? Maybe, with Perez running.
Helping his pitcher out, getting that lead runner at home plate. Now you have the 1 out. Nobody has scored. Still a double play in order, and Keuchel gets a lot of ground balls. But how about Marwin Gonzalez, first start, at first base in a long time, but has the arm strength to be able to make that backhanded strong throw home and make sure he gets that lead runner.
You know, to go along with that, the guts. I mean, a lot of times guys can make certain plays. They just choose to make the simpler play. So a 1 out. Alex Rios at the plate, 0 for his last 7. Rios hitting .256. And it was Rios last night in the 9th inning that hit that ground ball to the hole at shortstop that saw Carlos Correa make the incredible play. Again, double play depth in the infield. Ground ball to third. Backhanded. Coming to the plate again. They get the lead out. So 2 outs, bases loaded, no runs in for Omar Infante. And on that play, you're the third baseman. Was there a shot to step on the bag and fire to first?
Nope, too deep. Too deep. Gutsy play because you're throwing right into the line of the baseline with the runner in it. Kind of a colossal chopper. Valbuena does a heck of a job, number one, just to pick up that short hop. But just makes a nice strong throw to home plate. Some good defense being played behind Dallas Keuchel. But as an infielder, you know you're going to have opportunities with Keuchel on the mound. Pitches to contact, gets a lot of ground balls, and right now the defense is picking him up. But watch how this ball takes Valbuena towards the line and still makes a strong throw, avoiding the runner coming home. Great play.
Third straight hitter to come to the plate with the bases juiced. Infante takes inside.
Have we said anything about the composure of Dallas Keuchel up to this point? Giving up 3 straight base hits and just proceeds to get a couple ground balls.
It's kind of who Dallas Keuchel has become in his career. And a strike. It's 1-1. Omar Infante, the 6th hitter for the Royals. 3 consecutive hits to start the game. Escobar, Kane, and Morales. And now the ground balls resulting in outs at the plate. Hot shot into left field. That's a base hit. Tucker has to charge. Here comes a second run to the plate. It will score. RBI or 2 RBI single by Infante. And despite the defense in the inning, the Royals lead it 2-0.
Keuchel's leaving some pitches in the middle of the plate. Royals hitters in this inning have not missed them. But a pretty good pitch down and in. Just Infante able to get the barrel out, hit it sharply through the infield. Would have liked to have seen Correa with his head up at third base. Maybe taking that throw from Preston Tucker to get that third out at third.
Still 2 outs, but 2 runs in now. And the 7th hitter, Cheslor Cuthbert, at the plate, hitting .333 in 15 at bats. How deflating is that base hit after getting those first 2 outs?
It's a tough pill to swallow. Worked so hard to get to that point. You're one ground ball away from getting out of the inning.
Hot shot, but foul outside the bag at first.
See Dallas getting on the side of that. Little bit of a cut down and in. It's just a good pitch. Just give a lot of credit to Omar Infante for getting the barrel out in front of it.
Cheslor Cuthbert is 22 years of age, from Nicaragua. Ground ball left side. That's a hit and down the line. 2-run score on this one. It's a double for Cuthbert, and the Royals here in the first inning lead it 4-0.
Cuthbert just does a good job of fighting this one off and keeping it fair. Thought it was a good pitch by Keuchel after that previous ball being fouled off down the first base line. Tried to get in the kitch, and Cuthbert just able to fight it off. Get spoiled watching Dallas Keuchel. This is shocking to me.
A couple of balls hit on the ground, but a couple of holes found, and 4-0 KC. And again, we point out, going back to the previous 5 starts for Dallas Keuchel, ERA at 1.46. Looking for the high strike, doesn't get it. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Paulo Orlando at the plate. He's playing in just his 44th game this year for KC. 29 years of age. Out of Sao Paulo, Brazil. And he lines one to center field, but oncoming is Jake Marisnick. And a great diving catch. And that'll do it. Terrific defense to keep any more runs off the board. But through 1 inning of play, 4-0 KC.
Follow the Astros all season with MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, StatCast, and more. MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or tablet.
Well, the Astros bats have their work cut out for them already, trailing 4-0 after 1. It's 5, 6, 7 for the Astros. Evan Gattis, Colby Rasmus, and Marwin Gonzalez. That first inning kind of takes you off your feet a little bit watching Dallas Keuchel struggle.
Yeah, I wasn't ready for that.
Ventura set to work it, brings a good fastball at 95. For Evan Gattis, batting average at 246. "16 big flies for Evan. And of course the 57 RBIs, which leads the club. Fly ball right center field. Long run. And dropping it after getting there is Kane in right center. And now digging for third base is Evan Gattis. And we'll see how this is ruled.
Oh, I can't wait.
Evan Gattis has 5 triples already on the season, and it is another one.
Beautiful.
Triple number 6 for Evan Gattis.
I love it. The man is a triples machine. You know he likes going the other way, but he also likes driving those pitches up in the zone. Got a fastball up there, drove it the other way, and I think there was a little bit of confusion right here between who's going to take this ball. Kane calling it the whole way, but Rios kind of snuck into the picture right there and threw Kane off a little bit. Normally solid outfield defense from Kansas City.
Leadoff triple, Gaddis. It brings up Colby Rasmus. Infield playing back.
Just rolled off your tongue.
Number 6. It's starting to become the norm around here.
Just routine.
Who leads the American League? Kevin Kiermaier of Tampa Bay has 10 3-baggers. Rajai Davis and Adam Eaton with 7. And then comes Evan Gaddis.
Better believe it. So you get that slugging percentage up. Run 3 bases.
Get your sprints in the heat.
He's only playing half the game, though.
Line drive dropping in left field. That will drop for a hit. Gaddis tagging. Now comes on and scores. And so the Astros pick up a run here in the second inning and make it a 4-1 game. RBI single, Colby Rasmus. And we check in with Julia.
Hey guys, now Marwin Gonzalez up to the plate. The hotter hitter, one of the hotter hitters. He's our TXU Energy power player of the game, and last night we saw him with 2 hits. You see his number since June 14th, 359. So we will see him at first base a little bit more often, guys. AJ Hinch trying to figure out who to play over there every day, but now that Marwin's hitting the ball, seeing the ball really well, it makes sense there. As far as defense, though, he's a better defensive guy at first base as well, and we've already seen him be tested in this game.
Marwin Gonzalez at the plate, and as Julia says, playing at first base today, and he's been tested and come through with a very nice play.
Again, I love these guys. Such a luxury having a guy like Marwin switch hits and plays multiple positions and plays them all well.
And swinging it very well from each side of the plate. Colby Rasmus thought he saw a balk right there. Colby's only stolen 1 base this year in 2 tries. Ball and a strike on Marwin. Don't think Marwin liked the call, but
just nasty. It's only strike 1. You got 2 more left.
this ballpark compare at all to Coors Field? Take away the home runs, but the wide open outfield spaces.
Say there's a decent amount of acreage in both places. But I would like to be hitting at Coors Field a little more regularly than Kauffman Stadium.
1-2 now on Marwin. Jason Castro to follow here in the second inning. Another big crowd on hand. They had a sellout last night. 16th on the season for KC. Half swing going through. That's out number one. Second strikeout for Ventura.
Big nasty curveball. Got Preston Tucker on the same pitch in that first inning. Good look at the release. Good sharp break.
Castro the 8-hitter. Jason hitting .209. Royals already with 5 hits against Dallas Keuchel. The Astros have picked up a pair, both coming here to start the second inning. Fly ball left center field and fairly deep, going back. Orlando to make the catch. Halfway or almost all the way to the bag at second base. Rasmus as he gets back to first. 2 down for Jake Marisnick.
Balls hit hard in this inning off of Ventura. It's a good pitch to hit. Center cut. Fastball's been getting beat around for Ventura. Probably trying to be too fine with it. Starting to leak out over the middle of the plate. It's good to see the Astros putting a run on the board after that 4-run first.
Marisnick had a tough night offensively last night, going 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, and starts the bat early here. Goes through. It's 0-1.
It's been a tough series. Jake Marisnick had 2 hits in that first game, but we've seen the Royals pitching staff go after him early with breaking balls to get ahead in the count, and then late in the count with 2 strikes trying to climb that ladder with fastballs to put him away.
And there's that fastball at 99.
See if they elevate. It was only 99.
Kept it right under 100. Smallish man, big arm for Ventura. Might have tried to overthrow the breaking ball.
It was a heck of a stop by Butera.
Giordano Ventura has been through the fires a bit. He was the winner of Game 6 of the World Series last year. Popped up right side. Foul territory. As Morales takes it, and that'll do it. The Astros go down and get a run in the second inning. It's a 4-1 KC lead. First inning against Dallas. Keuchel represent the total figure given up by Dallas on the season in the first inning.
Gives you an idea how good he's been.
Nine 1-2 coming up for KC. Drew Butera, the catcher today, leads it off, followed by Alcides Escobar and Lorenzo Cain. As Dallas misses away, and as you pointed out, up a bit with that pitch from what you normally might see.
Usually that pitch at 90 is that good sink right there.
Little looper down the right field side, out of play, as Colby Rasmus has been doing so often, playing shallow and near the line.
It's a good thing he's been there too. He's taken away some hits and some big opportunities for the Royals.
Chopper to third. And Valbuena with the first out of the inning.
Get a pretty good idea how aggressive the Royals were in that first inning. Only 18 pitches and gave up 4 runs and 5 hits. So they were swinging early and often at some of those pitches that were elevated. And that might be the game plan against Dallas Keuchel. He does such a good job normally of keeping that fastball down, keeping the changeup down. We've seen the slider down. But maybe they went in there with the mentality, if they see a ball elevated in the strike zone, they're going to give it a good pass.
Escobar shows bunt once again. That's how he got the game started for KC. Dropped a perfect bunt single on the third base side to start the first. And now 2-0. Chris Guccione behind the plate, not giving in to those close offerings on the outside edge. Ground ball back up the middle. To his left is Correa, and makes the accurate throw. Second ground ball out of the inning.
Just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller time later in today's game. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Some fine defense by a fine young man. You really have to watch some of those plays 2 or 3 times to really understand what exactly just happened.
I have to believe that Alex Rios thought he had a game-winning hit with that ground ball in the 9th inning last night. But he was thrown out rather handily by Correa on the play. Lorenzo Cain at the plate. Had a base hit. Shot one into left field in the first.
It's uncharacteristic to see Keuchel falling behind also. Just 3 strikes out of 3 first pitch strikes to the last 11 batters.
Of course, we need to mention today's a big day for the Astros and Craig Biggio in particular, going into the Hall of Fame. And just see on Twitter Matt Thomas noting that Craig Biggio gave a perfect speech. So a huge congratulations to Craig Biggio, first Hall of Famer to wear an Astros uniform.
Great stuff.
Drive left center field. Nobody is near this thing. Deep at the wall. And that gets out of here. Lorenzo Cain adds to the pain here in the second. It's 5-1 KC. And for Cain, his 11th long ball of the year.
8th home run given up by Dallas Keuchel. Big, strong man, Lorenzo Cain. Again, ahead in the count, 2-1. Fastball up, out over the plate.
Now those 3-1 counts can be dangerous, and Lorenzo Cain made that more than dangerous. 421 feet on the stinger.
Absolutely no depth on that pitch whatsoever.
Oh, 1 the count on the 3-hitter, Kendrys Morales, who loops one but fouled on the right side. Here's the plaque of Craig Allen Biggio.
Gritty spark plug. Like it. That's good stuff. Unbelievable.
Oh, 2 on Morales. What is going through Dallas Keuchel's mind right about now?
Straight damage control.
One of the few changeups we've seen to this point.
Really hasn't had the opportunity to get to that pitch.
You and I were talking earlier off air about, can you imagine being inducted into the Hall of Fame? And what must have gone through the mind and just the being of Craig Biggio and his family and everybody there today. Down on strikes, Morales. We'll talk more about it. That does it for the Royals in the second. They get a run on the home run by Lorenzo Cain and lead it 5-1.
Craig would get a base hit, and I would sit there, and they'd throw a slide in the dirt, and I would watch him steal second, and then they'd throw another slide in the dirt, and he'd steal third, and I hit a fly ball to right. I mean, it was easy. I'm proud of him, and I'm excited to be here, and, you know, coming from Houston, which most of y'all are from, to come to this little town right here, it's fun to be around.
A very emotional Jeff Bagwell. How about that?
I kind of got that sense too, appreciating the moment, playing next to him for countless years. And that was one of the things for me. I got traded over to the Houston Astros from Montreal in the spring of 2002. And I had felt like I got called up to the big leagues because of those two guys being in the clubhouse. I was like, dude, I'm going to go into this clubhouse. I'm going to get to learn from the best and play alongside two of the best players to ever play the game, and two of the best Astros to ever wear that uniform too.
Really glad to see that Jeff Bagwell got a chance to get there today. And
absolutely,
I know a number of Craig's teammates were able to get there. So,
and the showing of the Astros fans, like Baggy just said, coming up from Houston, going into that small town and making their presence felt.
By the way, with the ball game going on in front of us, it's 5-1 Kansas City. Jose Altuve leads off here in the third inning and has a 1-1 count. I wonder if the ceremony today, and I don't know what the timing of that interview with Jeff Bagwell was, whether that came afterwards, but if Bagwell getting to see everything there in Cooperstown and the sensation that you likely would get with all those former Hall of Famers on hand and all the pomp and circumstance, I wonder if that leads to Jeff kind of thinking more deeply about this whole thing.
I think making his presence felt there, just showing up, is going to turn some heads because he's going to get some votes. He better get some votes.
Yeah. Jose Altuve breaks his bat, gets another one. It's 2-2 on Jose. The Astros, after seeing the Royals strike for 4 in the first inning, came back with a run in the second. A leadoff triple by Evan Gattis, base hit by Colby Rasmus to plate him, but then KC comes right back to answer. Long home run by Lorenzo Cain. And in this kind of game, when you fall behind early, sometimes you could strike for a big inning, but sometimes you just have to battle back and peck away, get 1 or 2. number of innings along the way and see if you can eventually win it. The Astros had won the first 4 on the season between these two teams, and 7 in a row going back to last year. But KC snapped that last night with a 10th inning win. Just a little looper that dropped in shallow right field in front of Colby Rasmus. Ground ball left side, tough play at third. Cuthbert makes it, and the first out here in the third.
Celebrate Craig Biggio at the Biggio Hall of Fame weekend presented by Coca-Cola from July 31st to August 2nd. Giveaways throughout the weekend include a Biggio Hall of Fame bobblehead, a replica pinstripe jersey, and a replica Hall of Fame plaque, each to 10,000 fans. For more information, visit Astros.com or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. I think it's important to note with this whole Biggio thing going on is that he played his entire career as a Houston Astro. Yeah. How rare is that? The other 3 guys going in with him played for multiple teams.
And it's quite a class. Along with Craig Biggio, Randy Johnson, former Astro, Pedro Martinez, and John Smoltz. I mean, that's 4 big thumps from the major leagues.
Man. I just think it's fun having been able, much like you've gone through, seeing some of your contemporaries go into the Hall of Fame. I think it's kind of cool. Get to tell all my friends when I go home, hey, I faced Randy Johnson. I played with Craig Biggio. That's what makes it great for us, is all those memories that conjures up.
Little half swing going through, and striking out is Preston Tucker. Second time he's gone down on strikes. That's 3 for Ventura. Second out of the third, and it brings up Carlos Correa. I had the pleasure of coming to the big leagues with Cleveland at the time, and Gaylord Perry was there. He's in the Hall of Fame. Dennis Eckersley came to the big leagues. We had no idea. He was just a brash kid that came on throwing pretty well, and he turned out to be Dennis Eckersley.
How about that?
And so you don't know when you see these guys to begin with. In fact, I don't know how many years it takes before you start thinking, boy, this guy could wind up in the Hall of Fame someday.
It's pretty incredible to think about that. But it's true. You're just a teammate. You're going to have your opinions of these guys, playing against them, being in the clubhouse on a regular basis with them. But when it's all said and done, they've got 20 years in, 3,000 hits, and just some massive numbers that seem impossible to reach.
Line shot and a fair ball down the right field side. Possible extra bases. Correa digs for second. Here comes the throw. Not in time. It's a double for Carlos Correa. His 14th already in the major leagues.
How well does this guy stay inside the baseball? Seems like he's making adjustments at bat to at bat, trying to bust him in, but ends up, looks like it's on that inner third from the replay. It looks like it was down the middle, but just does a good job of letting the ball get deep. Doesn't panic, still puts a good swing on it. Kind of hesitated a little bit. I think he was surprised that ball ended up being fair.
None of us are in watching Carlos Correa.
Well, the electric start this kid's off to, both offensively and defensively. Didn't we hear that his glove might have been the question mark?
Well, we had heard some things about his throwing while in the minor leagues, and I privately kind of scoffed at it, I'll tell you the truth, because sometimes I feel like scouts and minor league people have to cover themselves a little bit with comments just to make sure that in the end, if the player doesn't work out, then you warn people. But there was no warning needed for Carlos Correa.
Just does a great job of throwing the knob of the bat at the baseball, and those hands come through quickly thereafter.
Good swing by Valbuena. It's 1-2. You know, in that class going into the Hall of Fame, Randy Johnson, we know he was a great strikeout pitcher, no question about it. But he struck out over the life of his career 10.6 batters per 9 innings. And that is by a good margin the best in the history of baseball.
How do you average 10-plus strikeouts per 9? That's incredible.
You have to have some bad stretches, bad seasons. Bluff move to second base.
I think he picked himself off.
I bet you'd be hard pressed to guess who was second or is second on that all-time list. And I won't put you on the spot. How about Kerry Wood in terms of strikeouts per 9 innings?
Really?
2-2 the count. Pedro Martinez follows. Got a couple of guys that are active. Max Scherzer and Clayton Kershaw. And then comes Nolan Ryan, 6th on the list. But Nolan Ryan persevered forever.
Yeah, but I wonder if, modern day baseball lends itself to a lot of strikeouts. So I wonder if there will be some current pitchers who will get pretty close to that.
That's a good question. Sandy Koufax is 10th on that list all time.
You put Sandy Koufax's stuff against some of these lineups these days, good grief.
Yeah. Valbuena stays alive. It's 2-2.
Did you get the news?
No.
Johnny Cueto is a Kansas City Royal.
It's official now?
It is official.
The story was out there this morning, but it got refuted by the KC general manager.
Well, it's official now. Left-handed pitcher Brandon Finnegan, John Lamb, and Cody Reed are going to the Cincinnati Reds for Johnny Cueto.
Do you know if this John Lamb kid is related to Mike Lamb?
I have no idea. I couldn't even tell you if he eats lamb.
You're going to have to start doing a little pre-game searching, right?
There's a look at it. A couple of left-handed pitchers going over to Cincinnati. Johnny Cueto's going to be trading in all that red gear for some baby blues and royal blues in the final year of his contract. So it'll be interesting to see how he finishes out and where he ends up over the offseason.
Making $10 million this year, so much of that has been paid out already. Down on strikes, Valbuena. That does it for the Astros. 4 strikeouts for Ventura. It's a 5-1 KC lead.
Here we go. Dallas Keuchel will be making a guest appearance at the Whataburger at 8534 Highway 6 North this Wednesday, July 29th from 11 a.m. until noon. For more information, visit Astros.com/appearances. As I'm making all kinds of fumbles over here, but I'm good. Whataburger, Dallas Keuchel, up to you.
It's the Heat.
35 pitches for Dallas Keuchel through his first couple of innings. And the Royals with 6 hits and 5 runs against Dallas. He tries to settle down now here in the 3rd inning. facing the 4, 5, and 6 spots. Salvador Perez came to the plate in the first inning with nobody out and the bases loaded. Perez hit a ground ball to first base that Marwin Gonzalez came home with and got an out. Alex Rios then followed, hitting a ground ball to third base. Another out was recorded at the plate, and then the damage came. Valbuena makes the catch in foul territory. Perez retired, out number 1. Alex Rios 0 for 1, hitting .255. Back to Craig Biggio, as we want to make sure we honor him correctly today. 7-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glove winner, won the Silver Slugger Award 5 times. We all know about the 3,060 career hits for Craig. 668 career doubles. That's 5th all time. Line shot and a fair ball down the right field side. Colby Rasmus on it quickly, fires to second, and they got him.
Rios hesitated.
Heck of a play by Colby Rasmus.
Sometimes your defense can pick you up even on base hits. Great throw. But these Astros outfielders have been taught, and they do a very good job of getting to the baseball as quick as they possibly can. Played this carom nicely, but keep your eye on Alex Rios. Hesitated right there, and that's all it took to get that throw in there to get Alex at second base. Astros finally catch a break. How about how hard the balls are being hit off of Dallas Keuchel, too? Yeah. That's uncharacteristic. Usually just little numbers off the end of the bat, or he gets in the kitchen in some guys. But the Royals are barreling him up right now. And I'm sure Dallas Keuchel's happy to get outs any way he can.
So 2 outs in the inning despite the hit by Rios. Omar Infante at the plate. And it was Infante that really delivered a big blow in the first inning. With 2 outs and the bases still loaded, no runs in, Infante single to left field. That plated a pair. Chesler Cuthbert came up with another big hit, a double to drive in 2 more, and that put 4 runs on the board in that damaging first inning. Oh, and by the way, on Craig Biggio, he just started showing off with being hit by the pitch 285 times.
Jeez.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. He can go ahead and have that honor.
That's second all time. Played catcher, second base, outfield. 1988 through 2007. And now Craig Biggio is in the Hall of Fame. Two and two the count on Omar Infante.
As long as we're stroking Craig Biggio, he's one of 4 players to have 2,500 plus hits, 250 home runs, and 400 stolen bases. 3 of those 4 now in the Hall of Fame.
Second strikeout for Dallas Keuchel. He gets through the 3rd inning with no damage. We've played 3. It's 5-1 KC.
And lead the way physically and the way he played the game. And with him and Bagwell, the way they played the game, that was like the message to the younger guys on the team. This is how you play Astro baseball. Nothing less.
Certainly true.
No, that's what I'm talking about. When I got traded over, man, I just sat back for the first 3 months and watched. I learned a lot just by being in the vicinity of those two guys.
Bart Howe got a chance to start his managerial career with the Astros, but he had a great career managing. And really kind of unfortunate that he's not managing in the game today.
He still could, that's for sure.
But he does some managing for us.
Thankfully.
The pre and post game shows, and great to have Art aboard. Let's take another look at that plaque for Craig Biggio.
Gosh, that's good stuff. There you go. First player in history with at least 3,000 hits, 600 doubles, 400. My goodness. And he played 3 different positions. How about when Jeff Kent came to the Astros, he said, yeah, I'll go to center field and play out there. If you think that makes the team stronger, I'm going to go out there and do it.
To the 4th we go. Evan Gattis leading off.
Good job of knocking that ball down by Butera.
Sal Butera had to get another glove to start the inning. And he's making sure to let everybody here in the ballpark know it. Drew Butera, excuse me, I'm stuck on Sal Butera, his dad, who played in a previous era.
His dad would have caught that.
Dad was a very good defensive catcher as well.
Sure. Drew Butera giving a lot of credit to A.J. Ellis out there in Los Angeles.
You know, I've watched Drew Butera, a guy who hasn't hit much in the major leagues, therefore hasn't gotten much of a chance to play, but he can play. And it's nice to hear a guy credit another for things that have been picked up along the way.
So true. It doesn't happen too often these days.
Evan Gattis grounds out to start the 4th. Brings up Colby Rasmus, who has the lone RBI for Houston. With that base hit, driving in the run in the 2nd for Rasmus. He's hitting .236. This is not that last start for Yordano Ventura that we've talked about, where he got roughed up by the Pirates. He gets a 2nd out on a ground ball to second base here in the 4th inning. And now Marwin Gonzalez comes to the plate.
Yeah, 14 wins last year for Yordano. Coming into this game, 4-7 record with that 5.19 ERA. Signed a 5-year extension, and after that last start was actually optioned out. Good for him, making good on that 2nd opportunity here.
I will take a stab at saying I'll bet he was the highest paid minor leaguer at the time that he was optioned out. 97. I mean, you see the stuff from Ventura. He's been up to 99 today. As the count at 1-1, Marwin struck out in the 2nd. The Astros start the day tied once again with the Angels atop the American League West. The Angels once again beaten last night by Texas. Back-to-back games. The Rangers come into Anaheim and win. So the Angels and Astros tied. Texas now with those 2 wins, 6.5 back. Are they in the race?
I'm not sure. It would take some serious work on their part to battle back into this thing, but beating up on the Angels is going to help their cause.
Ground ball right off the end of the bat. 3 ground balls to second base, and that'll do it for the Astros in the 4th. We played 3.5. All KC to this point. We were just talking about Astros and Angels leading in the West. How about that wild card chase you're watching every day, Blummer?
Yeah, I'm not paying much attention to that. I like watching to see who wins the division. As soon as you figure out who's locked up the division wins, then you start looking at that wild card. With some good stuff. Rangers pick up a game, but they also hold the Angels in check with the Astros losing last night, too. Big series coming up at Minute Maid Park between the Angels and Astros. They're going to get to take a shot at Texas also here in upcoming weeks.
Things change almost daily right now in the standings and who has the best record and all that sort of thing. The Royals currently have the best record in the American League. As the first pitch hit in the air to right field, Rasmus is there to make the play as Chesler Cuthbert flies out. 1 up, 1 down here in the 4th. So who has the second best record in the American League?
Well, let me check.
It's the New York Yankees.
How about A-Rod? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
3 bombs the other day in Minnesota.
Did you have any thought that he might come back and play this way?
No, I really didn't. Good for him, though. I mean, it's really a win-win situation. Anything he does would have been a bonus this year for the New York Yankees. But really proven to be a catalyst, and it seems like the guys on that ball club are kind of rallying behind him.
Well, from everything that I've heard around the Yankees, A-Rod's come in and just become one of the guys again. And
good move on his part.
I think it's been appreciated. 2-0 the count on the 8-hitter, Paulo Orlando.
Again behind 2-0, but 2 pitches up in the zone from Dallas Keuchel. That's a little more like it.
You can't help but wonder, does the heat of a day game like this have any impact on Dallas this time of the season?
I'm sure it does a little bit, but Dallas Keuchel's never going to admit to it because that's what we like about his character. I played with a guy in Arizona, Joe Saunders, and he had the sweatiest hands I have ever seen on a human being in my life. And it really affected how he handled the ball. And on days like this, he would have some serious issues just being able to get a grip. And this is uncharacteristically hot. You're going to get a lot of sweat on your hands. I mean, it may affect it.
Just saw a great changeup from Dallas. And now a heck of a play by Valbuena. Second out of the inning. And on a Day where the Astros are trailing, there's been some fine defense. We check in with Julia once again.
Guys, on that topic, just the heat index about 107 today, which isn't as hot as Friday. These pitchers for the Astros have been changing their undershirt and jerseys every half inning. Kazmir, of course, dealing with the humidity. It was really hot that Friday night, but they're doing that every half inning, and they're wearing those towels that are drenched in water, ice, and then the ammonia to stay cool in between.
Drew Butera at the plate. Shows bunt and takes low. Butera grounded to third as he led off the second inning. And now lines one into right field. That was gorgeous hitting for a guy that stood into the plate, hitting 180.
Just take that fastball away and go with it. Sometimes when you're facing a guy like Keuchel, you just got to take what he gives you.
This has to be a great hitter's background in Kansas City, and I don't know if that comes into play. But it has not been a typical Dallas Keuchel afternoon. 8 hits now for the Royals. Leadoff man Alcides Escobar at the plate. And the good change.
That's his bread and butter.
It is, and just haven't seen a lot today.
Yeah, but again, really haven't had the opportunity to go to that pitch. Royals hitters have been aggressive early in the zone. He's fallen behind in some counts. Another good one.
So starting to turn to that pitch. But you're right. I mean, you typically want to get into a count where it means something to throw that one.
But again, I don't understand it. You know, as good as Keuchel can be, and some of these pitches getting hit, the cutter was getting hit, the fastball up was getting hit. Why not, knowing how good that pitch is, maybe start off some of these accounts with that changeup? Maybe get an aggressive hitter with a swing and miss.
One hopper to second. Altuve with the play, takes his time, and that'll do it for the Royals in the 4th inning. They get a hit and leave a man. 5-1 KC after 4.
Hot Dog Wednesday presented by Nolan Ryan Feed. The next chance to crush some dollar dogs is this Wednesday, July 29th, when the Astros take on the Angels. For more information, visit astros.com/dollardogs or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. One of the best known features of this ballpark, Kauffman Stadium, is of course the fountains, the beautiful fountains that will run in between innings. It's also a great place to stand when it's this hot outside here in Kansas City. I'm feeling the mist right now, but A.J. Hinch said about the weather here in Kansas City. We were just talking about the pitchers and how they were having to adapt and adjust to the weather. He said that the guys on this Astros team are probably appreciating that roof a little bit more after this weekend just because of the heat and the humidity that they have been playing in. Also, A.J. Hinch knows this heat and humidity well as he played here for 2 seasons catching. And he said in between innings he would go in and stick his feet into big tubs of ice water to cool down, go through 15 to 20 Gatorade bottles, and would even lose 13 pounds through just one game, guys. That's hot.
Enjoy the fountains out there.
Yeah, I will. It's nice.
It's 5-1 Kansas City. We go to the 5th inning. Jason Castro leads off for the Astros, followed by Jake Marisnick and Jose Altuve. The Astros have just 3 hits against Yordano Ventura. Evan Gattis, Colby Rasmus, and Carlos Correa with those hits. A couple of those for extra bases. Triple for Gattis, double for Correa. Oh, and 2 the count. Good off-speed pitch from Ventura.
How about the mess on the back of the pants of Yordano Ventura?
Excuse me?
Yeah. Kidding me? What are we working with here? Slide into the mound to get up, get ready.
Close on Castro. He stays alive. It's 1-2.
That goes into the adjustments that the pitchers are making. Sometimes you rub a little bit of dirt, dry off those hands a little bit, and maybe that rosin in the back of the mound there.
Ground ball to the right side, and not able to get there. Infante. So that ground ball hit by Castro gets through into right field. Leadoff single. And for the Astros, their 4th hit of the day, trying to spark something here in the 5th. Jake Marisnick comes to the plate. Castro not one of the guys that you would factor into the running game for the Astros. Marisnick stings it into left field. Solid base hit. Back-to-back knocks. And the Astros have something going. Back to the top of the order with Jose Altuve.
Good sign. Castro knock. Marisnick knock. It's kind of interesting to me how often in this game, with a couple of hits by the Houston Astros, a part of this Royals team makes a trip out to the mound to calm down Yordano Ventura.
Yeah, that's 2 guys in the order you're really happy to see get something going with the bat. And now Altuve has a 9-game hitting streak. He's 0 for 2, however, on the day, hitting .303.
What's even better is you got 2 runners on. Turn this lineup over. Now you got some action.
Dodgers are in New York, trailing the Mets after 8, 2-0. And Zach Greinke started for L.A. 7 innings and allowed 2 runs, and that's big time news. 6 consecutive starts. Greinke had been unscored upon.
.45 2/3 innings until he gave up that run.
He was taking a run on Oral Hershiser.
Something about that Dodger uniform.
Don Drysdale initially had that big string. One and 2 now on Jose. White Sox lead at the Indians now in the top of the 8th inning, also 2-0. Carlos Rodon going, or Rodon rather, for the White Sox. Fifth inning here, 5-1 Royals. Baltimore Orioles now a couple of games under 500, leading in Tampa Bay. Rays have fallen back to a game under 500. 5-2 the score there. O's on top. That in the 8th inning. 3-2 now. That lead runner is Jason Castro, very unlikely to play the running game. Pittsburgh Pirates lead at 3-1 over the Nationals in the 8th inning in Pittsburgh. Garrett Cole going for his 14th win. Chopper to third. They'll try to get the out at second, and they do get that out. Force play racing Jake Marisnick. Runners at the corners with one out for Preston Tucker.
Gutsy play. 4-run lead. You just go ahead sometimes and try and get that out at first base. The easy play, but Chesler opted to go to second base, and Fonte picked him up, kept that foot on the base. Good play. Double play in order.
And now they're back out to the mound chatting with Ventura. Yeah, I agree with you. I was very surprised to see Cuthbert go in that direction. Now the Royals have kept the double play as a possibility. Preston Tucker has struck out twice today.
On breaking balls in the dirt, see if he can get something elevated, get a mistake from Ventura, take advantage of it. He's been swinging a good bat of late.
Little soft liner right at the second baseman Infante. Second out of the inning as Preston Tucker blew up his bat, and now it's up to Carlos Correa.
It's actually a good pitch to hit.
Correa hit by a pitch and then doubled down the right field line. That came in the 3rd inning.
Spinning breaking ball right over the middle of the plate. Just got a little too deep on him. Sometimes you see that breaking ball and just that slight hesitation between the brain and the hands create that jam shot. Got a kid up there right now, and Carlos Correa hitting in that 3-hole. He does a good job of driving in runs with 2 outs. Saw it the first game of this series.
Lays off the breaking ball low.
It'd be interesting to see how they pitch Correa right here, because there essentially is a base open. I know it's a 4-run lead, and you really can't hit a 4-run bomb with 2 guys on, but
how do you pitch Correa?
This guy could extend the inning a little bit with a base hit. He also has the potential to drive it out, but you've got Valbuena hitting behind him.
Takes a curveball through there on the 1-0.
I think that's what Ventura's doing, is if he's going to get beat, he's going to get beat throwing the off speed.
Boy, that 98 must look like something after those 2 breaking balls. Other rookies around the American League. Offensive players. Billy Burns with the Oakland A's, and he's had a good year, hitting .309. Steven Souza Jr. with Tampa Bay. Two and 2 on CC. is full. The crowd here in Kansas City obviously wanted that one.
It's nice to want.
Wanting and deserving, two different things. So 3-2. That'll have Altuve on the move from first base. Fly ball center field. Kane with plenty of room. And that'll do it for the Astros in the 5th inning. They get a couple of hits and strand them. Still 5-1 Royals. On Root Sports is presented by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Got a lot going on here at the ballpark in Kansas City. Julia was out there at the fountains, and they've got their Royals Hall of Fame down the left field side. Of course, George Brett is presented just about everywhere. Dallas Keuchel through 4 innings, 59 pitches now. For KC here in the 5th, 2-3-4. Lorenzo Cain leads it off. 2 for 2 on the day, and one of those a home run to left center field. We were talking about Craig Biggio and his entry into the Hall of Fame today, and we've heard his speech was just outstanding. In fact, perfect is what we've heard. Fly ball to right field. Rasmus hauls it in. 1 out. Kendrys Morales comes to the plate. What goes on when you're done with the induction? Are you just floating?
Well, never mind. I would imagine.
Tell us about your experience.
I would imagine. I can't. I mean, really, when he walks through the Hall of Fame, not only does it, I mean, there's a lot of guys that have pieces of equipment, a bat, spikes, a game used something or other, and then he has a plaque on the wall in the Hall of Fame. I mean, that's amazing. You got to be floating for a long time after that.
Ground ball through the right side. Kendrys Morales has his second hit of the day. Brings up the cleanup man, Salvador Perez. This moment in history is brought to you by M.D. Anderson. Jimmy Wynn is the first player to reach 100 home runs in a Houston uniform. That came on July 26th of 1968. On the same day, 38 years later, Craig Biggio hit the 50th home run of his career, and that came leading off a game. Biggio finished with a career first in the National League history with 53 leadoff home runs, trailing only the great one, Rickey Henderson.
Ricky.
How many did Ricky hit as a leadoff hitter? I want to say
he just hit one earlier today, didn't he?
I think Ricky had some ridiculous number, like 80 some
off the charts.
Biggio, the all-time king in the National League. And Perez down on strikes. That's 3 for Keuchel after getting 13 last time out. Alfonso Soriano is the guy that trails Ricky Henderson. That's in the American League. One more than Craig Biggio. So,
wow,
some pretty great numbers. Two outs for Alex Rios.
Where was that? Huh. All right.
Where was that?
My goodness. Not sure what's going on back behind home plate, but that is a tight zone for Dallas Keuchel.
Well, that first one was a strike.
Yeah.
Emphatically called a strike by Chris Guccione.
There was a little extra oomph on that
There
one.
was. Yeah, like, okay, here's your strike.
Umpires are so even keel, I can't imagine.
Ball was hit hard but foul.
Oh, Jonathan. Thought we were going to have an ACL injury right there. Good grief.
You ever had a major injury with one of your gang down the lines?
A tough time out there, isn't it? I was on the field and made you may remember this. It was around 2002, 2003 with Jeff Jenkins in Milwaukee. I went to go make a tag on him going back to third base, and I heard and saw his ankle snap.
Ooh.
And I instantaneously, after hearing it, took off and ran to second base because I was almost about to throw up. It was the nastiest thing I've ever seen in my life.
And I was trying to play it light about the folks down the lines in foul territories. They used to always have the shots of the older gentlemen in San Francisco. Those were great. Rios with a 2-2 count.
There was one the other day in Arizona. They have some older gentlemen down those lines, and it was a ball in play.
Oh, no.
And he bolted from his seat and made a fantastic stop. He thought had the ball, and it was still in play.
Yeah, you can't nap while the pitching is going on. Stays at 2-2. '81 career leadoff home runs by Ricky Henderson. A little before your time, Barry Bonds' father, Bobby Bonds, was a powerful leadoff hitter. I don't know how many Bobby wound up with, but I would have thought he would be one of the guys challenging there. Three and 2 now on Rios. Bobby is 7th on that all-time leadoff man home run list. How about that? Ichiro is number 6.
Hey, don't kid yourself. Ichiro, in his prime, could put on an absolute home run display in BP.
Down the right field side, that'll drop for a hit in front of Rasmus. Digging for third, and the throw gets there ahead. They got him. Colby Rasmus has a second assist of the afternoon as he gets Kendrys Morales trying to go first to third on that base hit. That does it for the Royals. It's still 5-1 KC.
Our AT&T Rewind takes us back to May 26th of last year when George Springer made Yordano Ventura's life miserable. That was a great stretch for George Springer. He was basically carrying those Astros during that time. A couple of home runs in Seattle previous to this, but was just lighting up that scoreboard with a bunch of knocks. There was a couple times we thought he was going to try and knock down the outfield wall with some of the long lasers he was hitting. Took a dip in the fountain on that one.
And I think we got a glimpse at that time for about a week of how good George Springer can be. It's the kind of talent this guy has. You combine his tools, his talent level with that of Carlos Correa. The future could be so bright.
Just keep him healthy. That's the problem. George Springer, we need to keep him on the field more often. The more he's out there, the better the Astros are going to be.
We go to the 6th. 5-1 Royals. Luis Valbuena starts it out 0 for 2 on the day. Luis now 0 for his last 12, and that batting average has slipped back under the 200 mark. Hot shot, but right at the second baseman. Infante gets his lips out of the way and makes the play.
Tell you what, Valbuena's got some tough luck. He's hit a couple balls extremely hard. His first at bat, Infante made a good play going up the middle to take away a base hit. Now this one just smoked right at him.
Evan Gattis hits one high and semi deep to left field. Orlando's there to make the play. 2 down for Colby Rasmus.
He just missed that one. Just a click out in front.
What a feeling that is, and you come back to the bench and all you can do is tell yourself, oh, I just missed it. Washington Nationals are trailing at Pittsburgh 3-1 in the 8th inning. Colby Rasmus has a hit in 2 at-bats, driving in the only Houston run and a couple of assists on the day.
Wasn't the brightest of base running moves by Kendrys Morales, trying to go first to third. Colby Rasmus has been playing a shallow right field all series.
Colby, by the way, now has 5 outfield assists. Rasmus hitting .235. Wonder if Ventura and some of the other Royals pitchers still think about some of those swings from George Springer last year.
Well, they're pretty darn happy he's not in uniform here at Kauffman Stadium.
Rasmus down on strikes. That's 5 for Ventura. He gets through the 6th inning, leading it 5-1. Is this the sports complex here in Kansas City? And there's Kauffman Stadium right across the parking lot. In fact, there's a tunnel down underneath that runs between the two stadiums. The Truman Sports Complex, I think it's called.
You're divulging all kinds of secrets, man.
See all the CIA people running back and forth under there when we're leaving.
They will not let you go anywhere near that football stadium.
I saw them stopping you last night.
I tried.
Omar Infante leads it off for the Royals in the 6th inning. 5-1 KC. They came out with a 4-run first inning against Dallas Keuchel. 5 hits in that inning. First 3 hitters all came up with hits. Dallas had 2 outs, and the base is still loaded. And then a couple of key hits. Omar Infante had one of those driving in a pair, the other by Cheslor Cuthbert. And the Royals haven't looked back.
Yeah, Ventura's been pitching great. Showing a good fastball, occasional cutter. But he's spotting that 98-mile-an-hour fastball wherever he wants. And when he gets to 2 strikes, he throws that power hammer. Astros really haven't had an answer, and he's pitched really well with guys on base when he has had those guys on base, which has been few.
Another strikeout for Dallas. That's 4 on the afternoon. Out number 1 in the 6th as Cheslor Cuthbert comes to the plate. By the way, the Astros are known for scoring from the 7th on. Kansas City has now outscored the opposition in the first inning 66-33. Again, a mention about Craig Biggio and his induction into the Hall of Fame today. And I think we're all anxious to be able to hear the speech. Congratulations. Certainly go there. I know he must have mentioned, along with many teammates and a lot of people, but I'm sure he also mentioned Milo Hamilton. They've got a great friendship, and we want to, along with Craig Biggio, wish Milo a speedy recovery. Get back with us, Milo. We miss you, Captain.
Most definitely.
Cuthbert 1 for 2 with a double. 2 hops to Valbuena. Good strong throw, a bit high on that right field side, but what, Marwin can handle that first base job.
Did a good job of getting there early, give the third baseman a good target, and if you're there early enough, you can adjust to those throws that might be a little bit offline. He does a good job with the footwork. Josh Fields getting loose in that Astros bullpen.
Changeup as a starter for a strike. Paulo Orlando at the plate. Altuve with a nice play from the knees and got him. 1-2-3 inning. A little more defense. The Astros have displayed quite a bit on this afternoon. We played 6, 5-1.
to play. Name That Astro, brought to you by your local Honda dealer. Here are your clues. Make sure to tweet at the guys in the booth, Ash and Blummer, your answers. We'll answer it later in the broadcast. He was a backup outfielder for 2 different World Series teams. Had 105 career pinch hits. Pretty impressive. Has the 9th highest contact percentage in MLB history. Name That Astro. We'll have more, okay?
You worked hard on that one, huh, Julia?
Oh, yeah, I come up with these. Did you say I worked hard on it?
Yeah, you did. You really dug deep. These are good ones.
I spent all morning on it.
Getting a little tougher on these. Maybe some of the fans having it their way. Know that one, Blummer?
I do. I do.
Play with him?
I did not.
Against him, though.
A couple times.
Well, the Astros here in the 7th inning, trailing at 5-1. 7-8-9 coming up. Marwin Gonzalez leads it off. 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And a tough day for the bats. Just 5 Houston hits. Fly ball to right. Alex Rios makes the play and 1 out. I'll bring up Jason Castro, who had a hit in the 5th inning. Dodgers and Mets are now tied at 2 in the 9th. Bottom of the 9th inning now for the Indians, trying to come back down 2-0 to the White Sox. New York Yankees playing good baseball. They start the day 5.5 games in front of Toronto in the East. Second best record in the American League, 54-42, and the Yankees lead 7-1 at the Twins. That game in the 6th inning. Braves and Cardinals tied at 2 in St. Louis, 6th inning. Philadelphia maybe buoyed by the no-hitter by Cole Hamels yesterday, leading over the Cubs 8-2 in the 5th. There's a shot down the right field side off the wall. Jason Castro has a 2nd hit on the day. A single and a double for Jason. This double comes with 1 out, brings up Jake Marisnick.
Ball was well struck. Like a changeup up in the zone. Good recognition on Castro's part. Throw the barrel at it. Get yourself that 2nd hit of the day. Big double for Castro.
Number 12 on the year for Jason. You've got a guess of Cesar Geronimo. Don't think he played with the Astros, did he?
He was on. I don't know. That's a good one.
He was the center fielder for the Big Red Machine.
Well, I got a Matt Stairs out of somebody. Did he play for the Astros?
Yeah, he did.
Really? Did not know that.
Well,
he played for a good 15 teams. I know that.
You know what? I'm going to take that. Yeah, he did back. I don't recall. Little thumber in the air to second base. Infante with the easy play. 2nd out of the inning. Marisnick now 1 for 3. It brings up Jose Altuve.
As a thank you to our fans for all your support, all view deck and outfield deck tickets will be available for only $10 for all remaining Tuesday to Thursday home games during the month of July. For more information, call 1-877-9-ASTROS or visit astros.com/HTownPride.
Altuve at the plate, 0 for 3, trying to extend a 9-game hitting streak. Hits it in the air to right field. Rios back and under, and that'll do it. Altuve 0 for 4 on the day. Will hang around here with the Royals leading at 5-1 for God Bless America.
Fans, let's pause to celebrate our freedom and those who work to defend it. Please join us in singing God Bless America, being performed by the star of Kansas City's Starlight Theater's musical, Mary Poppins, and Elisa Leeming.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Presented by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by HEB. No store does more than my HEB. When you come to Kansas City, what do you go for on that meal ticket?
Chipotle.
Ah, you and Jerry going together.
No, I'm kidding. You got to have the barbecue out here, don't you?
Boy, that looks like that might work too.
Be a nice little pick-me-up before you get on the plane.
Nothing like French fries for a pick-me-up finish-up.
I thought you were going to order the cheesy corn on that.
Tried that yesterday. Don't know if I was a big fan or not. I was certainly full at the time. By the way, yes, Cesar Geronimo did play for the Astros and was traded by the Astros in a big deal in 1971. On to Cincinnati, where he became a part of the Big Red Machine. It was in the Joe Morgan deal. Cesar Geronimo and Ed Armbrister were a part of the Astros back in those days.
Say Geronimo. Good song.
Sing it to me.
Almost did.
Got part of it out.
Yeah, we would have lost a lot of fans. People are doing good on the Name That Astro, by the way.
Yeah, they are. Bo Wright's got it.
Bo Wright's right.
Bo Wright's right.
Right. He didn't say Geronimo.
No. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Drew Butera at the plate, leading off the 7th inning for KC. Butera 1 for 2 on the day. Dallas Keuchel likely in his final inning of work. And as Dallas Keuchel will tend to do, trailing 5-1, still wants to come out and pitch as many innings as possible.
A lot of pride and a lot of guts. Go out there and pitch that many innings consistently. I believe that's 32 straight appearances of 6 innings or more.
And picks up a strikeout, number 5 on his afternoon. Leadoff man Alcides Escobar comes to the plate.
Last pitch was kind of filthy.
It's kind of what the Dallas Keuchel normally looks like with location.
Well, from the 3rd inning on, he's been Keuchel-esque. Good first pitch changeup to get ahead, but that last pitch showing the location looked like a 2-seamer. Didn't have much cut on it, but just paints that inside corner, locking up Butera.
Royals with 4 singles, and that's it since the 2nd inning. Got a 2-out home run by Lorenzo Cain in the 2nd inning. Royals scored 4 in the first. The Astros responded with a run in the 2nd inning, but Casey came right back on that Cain dinger. With a win today, the Astros would make it 5 out of 6 against Kansas City on the season. And that's going to take some work over the final couple of innings.
Especially with that Royals bullpen out there.
And they've got a left-hander loosening.
I believe that's Franklin Morales. Only lefty in that Royals bullpen.
Two and two the count. Escobar 1 for 3. That one, a bunt single in the first inning, got the 4-run frame started. And there's Morales. Hot one in KC. And now 3 and 2. You can't see it on Dallas Keuchel, though. Jersey maybe a little on the moist side. "96 pitches for Dallas. Changeup on the 3-2. And that gets Escobar out in front. Soft fly ball to left field. 2 outs in the inning as Lorenzo Cain comes to the plate. Carl Cook knows, as we see A.J. Hinch coming out to the mound, that's going to likely be the end for Dallas. Is it or isn't it? Yeah, they will go to the bullpen. So Dallas Keuchel works hard. He gets through 6 2/3 innings. And he really battles. And that's what you expect from Dallas Keuchel. You get it this afternoon, but 4 early runs, in fact 5, have the Royals on top as Dallas leaves here in the 7th. We'll be right back.
the bullpen. It's going to be Josh Fields coming out of that Astros bullpen in relief of Dallas Keuchel. 33rd appearance. Stranded 9 of his last 12 inherited runners. It's always a good sign, but here a little bit different situation. Get some work in. We're heading back home into Minute Maid Park for a nice home stand. Last time Josh was out there was on the 23rd. He threw 15 pitches in 1 inning. Gave up 1 hit. Had 1 strikeout. Also got the win in that game.
By the way, for Dallas Keuchel, with the 5 earned runs against him in 6 2/3 today, he leaves with an ERA at 2.32. He started the day at 2.12, leading the American League in ERA. Scott Kazmir was second at 2.24. Kazmir is now the leader. Sonny Gray at 2.30 is second, just in front of Dallas Keuchel. So, got quite a heated race going on there. Lorenzo Cain 2 for 3, single and a dinger. Home run number 11 on the year for Cain. There's a big swing here. It's 1-1. Dodgers and Mets have gone to the 10th inning, tied at 2. The Angels, hosting the Rangers in the top of the 3rd inning, are tied at 1. Return of Josh Hamilton has seen the Texas Rangers take 2 games in that series. I don't know if you caught it, but Mike Trout has taken the home run lead now. It's number 30 for the Halos.
And only 98 games for the Halos. It's pretty good.
Albert Pujols, of course, his teammate, has 29. There's the lowest ERAs since July 1st. Scott Kazmir is red hot. Is the name David Price still out there?
Until that deadline comes around, you better believe it is.
That's kind of the Mercedes floating around, I would think.
Go out there and get you a Maybach.
Maybach.
Yeah. I mean, that's the souped up Mercedes. You need a driver if you get one of those. You don't drive that yourself. Another emphatic call from Guccione, but we haven't seen too many called down there.
Lorenzo Cain was not anticipating the strike call. 3-2. You can't win when you're an umpire, though. One side or another is going to be upset. Cain down on strikes on the foul tip. So Fields comes on, gets the out that he has a shot to get at 1-2-3-7, 5-1 Royals.
to name that Astro, brought to you by your local Honda dealer. We gave you the clues earlier. Let's see who it is. Orlando Palmeiro, who had a 91.2% contact rate. That's the ninth best all time. He also made the final out in the 2005 World Series. That wasn't hard enough for you guys up here.
You know what? There's a lot of people getting it right, and I think even though this was tougher, we still need to go tougher to please these fans now.
I just got a Rafael Palmeiro.
Rafael was not an Astro. That one we can say.
He played in the state of Texas for a while, but I don't think that qualifies.
Yeah. Okay, so Orlando Palmeiro is your Who's That Astro today.
It was a good one. How about him playing on 2 World Series teams?
Tomorrow's an off day, so there's going to be plenty of time to come up with the toughest Who's That Astro yet come Tuesday night. The Astros head back home and take on the LA Angels in a big 3-game series. Colin McHugh goes against C.J. Wilson in the opener. Lance McCullers pitches game 2 against Garrett Richards. How about that for a couple of young big-time right arms? And then in the Thursday game, also a 7-10 start along with the other one, Scott Kazmir against Hector Santiago. So some really good left-handers right there. That's going to be certainly sets up to be a great series.
Oh, that's going to be a fun one, especially this time of year with the way everybody's playing. Real nice.
Kansas City goes to their bullpen. Franklin Morales comes on, their lone lefty, and he'll face Preston Tucker, Carlos Correa, and Luis Valbuena. Tucker 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts on the day. I just think it gets so tough for the typical left-hand hitter when you have to start facing tough left-handed pitching. Count goes to 0-2. Drew Butera doesn't like something. Quickly out to the mound. That's the upcoming rotation for the Astros in that 3-game set with the Angels. That's starting Tuesday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, back at MMP.
Tell you what, that's not fun if you're an opposing player coming in for a 3-game set.
You know, you do that as an opposing player. Sometimes you talk about the rotation you're going to face. Do you think opposing teams now will start talking about who they're going to see with the Astros?
Oh, yeah.
Off the end of the bat, little pop fly, shallow into right field. Long run for Rios, but he gets there. One out for Carlos Correa, who's been hit by a pitch and doubled. He's also flied to center field. That's a really nice start to a major league career, and then add the defense to it.
Again, I just can't get over the fact he's only 20 years old. To be able to put it together like that, the entire package, offense, defense, and to play at this high a level with the expectation he already had coming into the major leagues, and now he's on a potential playoff team and he's contributing. It's amazing.
Sometimes you see guys come on and you can watch for a couple of months and you say, well, they're doing really well, but it's a little bit fluky, and then you start describing what's gone on. There's none of that with this guy. Pops it foul on the right side. That's close, just a row back of that photographer's well. We're in the 8th inning. Royals in command, leading 5-1. Get out of that kitchen. Yeah, if Carlos starts coming up with that kind of quickness once again inside, you're really left with nowhere to pitch him.
That'll ruin somebody's afternoon. You try and beat him in there and he launches on you. We saw it early on when he first got called up. A couple teams trying to beat him in there, and he unloaded.
I know you remember the early home runs in Chicago and LA. Fly ball to center field. Kane with the play. A couple of fly ball outs in the 8th inning. Bring up Luis Valbuena.
Join the Astros on Friday, July 31st, when 10,000 fans will receive a Craig Biggio Hall of Fame bobblehead at the Biggio Hall of Fame weekend presented by Coca-Cola. For more information, visit Astros.com or call 1-877-9-ASTROS today. I don't think that uniform was dirty enough in that bobblehead.
Those are the sights of Cooperstown. Yeah. Just a little quiet town until Hall of Fame time. Strike at the knees on Valbuena. 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout. Giordano Ventura, the starter, very good through his 7 innings, allowing just a 2nd inning run. And that came with a leadoff triple from Evan Gattis on a fly ball to right center field. That might have had a little confusion between Kane and Rios, the outfielders, and eventually hit off the glove of Kane. Now in the bottom of the 3rd inning at Anaheim, 1-1. Angels and Rangers. Ground ball hit at the second baseman. Infante with the play again. And there goes the 8th inning in 1-2-3 fashion. KC on top.
Out RBIs. That led to another 2-run double behind it by Cheslor Cuthbert. I apologize. So 4 runs in that big first inning for the Royals. It's all they've needed so far. Vince Velasquez coming out of that bullpen for the Houston Astros.
So for Vince's first opportunity to pitch out of the bullpen, and it's kind of intriguing to watch. Will he bring the mega gas that we heard about in the minor leagues? Seen him throw hard, don't get us wrong at all. One of the really gifted arms for the Astros as you look not only to the future but the present.
It's his first time out of the bullpen, isn't it?
Yep.
There you go, 96 right out of the chute.
A strike. A couple of 96-mile-an-hour heaters.
Nice fluid motion, nice and easy.
It does look that way. We saw Yordano Ventura up to 99 today. That wasn't the typical, but the guy's got quite an arm.
Yeah, not my Dono, your Dono.
It's correct. I prefer ace, but nobody seems to go with it. I guess when you're a youngster on a pitching staff in the major leagues, it's a little presumptuous to go with ace, but I remember Dennis Eckersley quickly took on that name and embraced it in Cleveland back in his early days. Ground ball hit up the middle. Nobody's there. It's a base hit. Hit number 3 on the day for Morales. And a pinch runner for the Kansas City Royals. Gerard Dyson will take over at first base for Morales, the DH. Excuse me, Morales, the first baseman today. Nobody out. Salvador Perez is 0 for 3. San Francisco Giants are hosting the Oakland A's. Giants lead it 2-0. Just the first inning. (1-1) Blue Jays Mariners in the first from Seattle. Marlins and Padres scoreless in the first. Reds Rockies, same situation, as are the Brewers and Diamondbacks. White Sox were 2-1 winners over the Indians this afternoon. Carlos Rodon gets the win, now 4-3. That's a live looking heater, and I'm surprised it's not registering a bit higher.
I think it's got some good late life on it again, and some more foul balls when Velasquez is up there. It's uncanny.
Orioles beat the Rays 5-2 in St. Pete. Nolan Reimold had a big day for the victorious Orioles. Pirates down the Nationals. What's that race doing? The Nationals have been in front so much of the year. In the East, they lead by 3 at the start of play over the Mets. And the Pirates keep playing well, but the Cardinals are just out of sight this year. 7 games back of the Pirates at the start of play. And a strikeout on the breaking ball left up. First out in the 8th.
Sometimes you don't have to be perfect when you're throwing 96-mile-an-hour heaters. You can get away with a little change of speeds, put a little wrinkle on it. Just a little hesitation in that swing from Perez gets the strikeout.
By the way, those Pittsburgh Pirates now 57-41, 16 games over 500. Take another look at that punch out.
Kind of got on the side of it a little bit, didn't get that really downward rotation that he was looking for, but rumor has it he went down to Corpus and worked with Doug Brocail on a slider, so that might have been it. Just jumped out of his hand a little bit.
He had a good one his last time out. Very effective. Rios is 2 for 3 and has scored a run.
There you go, 97. As Woody Williams would say, 97.
You can live with that number throughout your career.
Man, you went just bringing it. Well, that was a curiosity on my part, putting Vince Velasquez out there in the bullpen. Is would he come out of that bullpen and show that electric heater that we heard about in the minor leagues, where he could almost touch 100 miles an hour?
Again, the breaking ball just gets away. 1-2 on Rios. 4-run first inning for Kansas City against Dallas Keuchel. The big difference on the afternoon. Royals got one more in the second. The Astros their only run in the second. Alex Rios was once in the home run derby of the All-Star game. It's been a long time ago when he was a member of the Toronto Blue Jays. Had a lot of power back in those days.
I'm sure that ballpark didn't hurt his efforts.
Very good ballpark to hit in, but he was a different looking hitter. Got 167 career home runs. Well, those numbers have really tailed off. Got some big years. Topping out at 25. Runner goes. The slider is low. The throw down not in time. It's a stolen base for Dyson. So he's in scoring position. 1 out and a 3-2 count on Alex Rios. Dyson with 16 bags in 17 tries.
It's a pretty good jump. Picked a good pitch to run on too. But Vince Velasquez still going with a little bit of a leg kick, and that breaking ball gave Dyson that extra step to sneak in there.
If you steal a bag on Jason Castro these days, you're getting it on the pitcher.
I completely agree. He's really cleaned that up. Good footwork all year long. Strong arm.
Been perfect. Crowd in KC wants more. Some of the folks have left, giving way to the sun. Rios pops it. Rasmus coming on and makes the play. Bluffing at second is Dyson on out number 2, and another perfect throw. Kobe Rasmus showing off the hose here this afternoon.
I'm not sure Guccione would have called that a strike, though.
Well, it did one hop. 33,638 on hand today. Vladimir Guerrero would have said it was a perfect strike.
So true.
Two outs now for Omar Infante. And a strike called on the outside edge. That's up to 97 again. And we're getting a peek.
Oh, it's in there.
For the Astros in the 9th inning. 5, 6, and 7. Evan Gattis, Colby Rasmus, and Marwin Gonzalez. Again, Dyson on the move as the pitch is fouled off. Well, I guess if you're just going to get a chance to play in the late part of the ball game as a pinch runner, go ahead and go for it.
I'll leave your impact, get a couple numbers.
See the footwork there by Jason Castro. Yep. Very quick.
It's beautiful.
Oh, 2 on Infante. Runner goes again. Pitches low. Throw down to third. And it's not handled by Valbuena. But I think it was going to be tardy anyway. Gerard Dyson can flat get it. He's got 2 stolen bases on the day. 17 out of 18 tries on the year.
That's his job. He did it a lot last year, coming in late in ball games, getting into scoring position. Here gets greedy and gets that second bag since coming into this game.
98.
Maybe feels the importance of a punch out right here.
You've been hearing on Milo Hamilton in the comments?
Yeah.
Just want to make sure that Milo is aware that everybody cares and rooting and praying for him. Foul tip, I think, caught the helmet of Jason Castro almost instantaneously. Two and two the count. The Astros won the opener behind Scott Kazmir 4-0. Yesterday, 10 innings to settle a 2-1 affair. Kansas City won it, and now the Royals trying to win the series.
99. There we go. Starting to reach back a little bit, or maybe just get loose. Coming into this game, Velasquez, 38 innings pitched, 38 strikeouts. Kind of anticipate that number being a little bit higher with as hard as he throws, but really doesn't have that, or hasn't developed that secondary pitch yet to really just bury guys when he gets ahead with that 2-strike fastball.
There's the breaking ball. Not where he wanted it, but he gets a strikeout, second of the inning. Royals leave a man at third. To the ninth we go, 5-1 Kansas City.
Plus interviews from the clubhouse and much more on the Astros postgame show presented by Houston Methodist.
Here in Kansas City, 5-1 Royals lead as we go to the ninth inning. Eric Hosmer has come on to take over defensively at first base. And a change on the hill. Former #1 pick and number 1-1 Luke Hochaver. Comes on to try to close it out for KC. The Astros have other thoughts.
Big kid, hard thrower, 94 miles an hour on the heater, has a cutter and a curveball.
Evan Gattis 1 for 3 with a triple and scored the lone Houston run. It was 2006 when Hochevar was drafted first in the first round by Kansas City. So that's perfectly spotted. He was drafted ahead of Evan Longoria, Clayton Kershaw, Tim Lincecum, and Max Scherzer, all in that draft.
Just a couple of Cy Youngs, huh?
Man. Houstonian Kyle Drabek was also in that first round by the Phillies. There were some good arms in that first. Close on the 1-2. Chris Guccione has not wanted to give in on those low pitches today. And now we're going to see the Drew Butera trot to the mound once again. Hochevar has been a setup guy for the Royals at times. A.J. Hinch takes it all in, and boy, such a great attitude, and I just say he's the right guy. Chopper to third, 2 hops. Cuthbert with the play, and the first out here in the 9th inning.
Just as we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lights. A couple of good plays out in the outfield by Colby Rasmus. Gets a shot down the right field line, plays a Karen perfectly, and with the hesitation from Alex Rios, was able to get a laser in there, and Correa putting the tag on Rios. First outfield assist, and then Kendrys Morales, not sure what he was thinking about right here, because the right fielder's been playing so shallow this whole series. Already showed off the arm earlier in the game, decided to test it and failed.
And now Colby with the assignment to get something happening here in the 9th inning. Colby's 1 for 3, but pops it up on the infield near second base. Escobar drifting to the outfield grass to make the play, and 2 down. It's up to Marwin Gonzalez. Again, Tuesday night, Colin McHugh against C.J. Wilson of the Angels. Lance McCullers in the Wednesday game, and then Thursday, Scott Kazmir. 3 big games coming up back in Houston for these Astros against the Angels. 2 teams tied atop the American League West at the start of play today. Royals fans on their feet.
I think this shows you a little bit of the respect that the Houston Astros bring with them when they come into ballparks now. Royals fans realizing this is a big win against a contending team in the Houston Astros.
Marwin's 0 for 3 today. It's a fly ball to center field. Easy for Kane. And that does it. The 1-2-3 9th inning. Kansas City scores early and holds on to win it 5-1 over the Astros, taking 2 out of 3 here in the series. And the Astros head back home to an off day tomorrow before taking on the Angels.